in. Yeah. 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 To heal, much. Look what I've got you. Look what I've got for you. You'll love it.
My respects to you. May the Lord watch over you.
No. I'd like you to show me some...
Certainly.
I'd like to practice...
All right, but it'll...
Now, pay close attention.
Good luck to you.
Look, look. Good boy. That's my boy. Let's hunt some hare.
Can you help me with... Sir!
I'd like to practice.
All right.
Now, pay. Can you teach me?
Sir!
I'd like to practice the.
All right.
Now, pay close. Can you teach me to be?
Sir!
I'm interested in.
Wouldn't you rather learn the bait?
Well, I'd like you to show.
Sir!
I'm interested.
Wouldn't you rather...
Well,
Good luck to you.
can you teach me?
Sir!
Well,
Can you help me? Sir!
I'm interested.
All right, but it...
Now, pay. hurting. Here.
Damn it! Alarm!
Yeah.
Quick, everyone! Come here! Damn it!
Let's hunt. Heck. Yeah. 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 There's the good dog. Look what I've got you. Yeah. Yeah. To heal, Mutt. fella. That's my boy. Look what I've... Yep. Yeah. 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 Look what I've got for you. Yeah. That's a good boy. That's my boy. Look what I've got. You'll... Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Is that all you got?
No one's a match. Yeah. That's him. Look what I've got for you. You'll love. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody help! Yeah. Quick, everyone! Come here! Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Hey, who's there? What's going on?
I'm glad to see you.
I talked to Ginger and found out what happened.
Out with it then.
Ginger fled because he recognised one of the raiders. He was afraid they'd come back to silence him.
Well, he was right. They were asking about him. So who did he recognize?
He didn't know his name. Some fellow with a limp from Ujits.
All right, since you've gone this far, you may as well ask around at Ujits. We've enough to do here in these parts anyway. Sir Radzik will tell you about it. He said to send you to him if you haven't already been. Good luck then.
God bless you. What troubles you?
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
One of the Neuhoff stable boys, a lad they called Ginger, fled from there and hid out with some charcoal burners.
That's true, but...
Oh, yes, sir. I had quite a job finding him. He was well hidden and with good reason. The bandits wanted to kill him because he recognised one.
Did he tell you what happened?
He said it wasn't one gang, but two. And one of them took fright when the slaughter started. Seems they were only interested in loot, so they quarrelled with the other lot. Then it came to a skirmish in the woods, and one of them...
And did you find out...
All I know is one of them is from Uzhitz. I know enough about...
All right, but those cutthroats must know who he is too, right? And if they want to get revenge on him or silence him, you'd better hope they don't get to him before you. So drop everything and get on his trail. Find out what he knows and then report back to me. I'm going to our encampment of Merhaya to oversee the...
Yes, sir. Why choose Merhaya?
It's somewhat at the centre of events, isn't it? And what's more, there's another stud farm there.
Sir, do you think they're going to try the same thing again?
I shouldn't think so. Everyone will be on the alert now, but the secluded dwellings are more vulnerable. There are few people in them.
But the bandits won't find much silver in places like that.
There's always a groschen or two, some food and so on.
True. If they'd stolen them, they could have sold them. Those were fine animals.
Exactly. It's not about the silver. It's about something else.
But what?
Creating fear. Such great terror that you won't even squeak when they come to cut your throat. Never mind raise your hand against them. Fear that will root you to the spot, staring like a rabbit in...
I have some news about the investigation.
Good.
The trail leads to Uzhitz. I found out...
I see.
That's all I found out.
All right. Come back and report. Farewell.
What's all the barking about, you old hound?
Look what you'll.
One fine day I'll take you to the woods and leave you there.
That's my boy. Look what I've got you.
What's all the barking about, you old hound? What is it with you? There's nobody here.
Yeah. 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 Look what I've done. Look what I've got.
I'm looking for a fellow who lives here, but I don't know his name. Do you know anyone with a limp?
There must be that farmhand, Lubosh. I don't know what the hell you want him for, and I don't much care. He's got a cottage on the edge of the village near the stream.
God be with you. May the Lord watch over you. What are you doing here?
Yeah!
Citizens, move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanush's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognised someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh. Or all that's left of him. Sakra.
Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups and...
How come he limped?
He got that from some villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go...
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't...
Do you happen to know where...
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never...
Another thing. When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything.
What's this? Looks like someone's hit him very hard on the head. Could they have bludgeoned him to death and then gutted him? That would explain why he didn't scream. An inscription in blood. Pity I don't know how to read. Looks like they wanted to give someone a warning, but who? And a bandit who knows how to write isn't something you see every day. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony. How come no one heard anything? Armour? Well, it seems Lubosh wasn't your everyday crofter. And judging by the bloodstains, it looks like he lived the way he died. Nothing unusual. Nothing unusual. A bed. A bed. Nothing unusual. A bed. Lord above, they did a hell of a job on him. Must have been agony.
Huh?
How come no one heard him?
Good day to you.
Another thing. I found armour in his house, covered in blood.
God preserve us. Everyone knows he was a violent oaf, but I never thought at least he never did that here. May the Lord watch over you.
Yeah. Yeah.
God be with you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about...
That man Lubo,
I didn't really know him. He kept to himself, even in the tavern.
have you noticed anything suspicious, Reed?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Nord...
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught... He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against...
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend...
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes.
That's all.
Farewell.
God be with you. Good day to you.
Is there anything suspicious going on in these parts?
Indeed, there is. Just last night, Father Godwin was here, calling fire and brimstone down on old Gertrude, the herb woman. He's not one to make a fuss over some trifle either. And there's more. Around here, you should hear about what Vashek the groom has been up to at the stables. When the head groom told the lads here, they fell off their seats laughing.
Is there anything...
Nothing out of...
Is there someone...
Certainly. For how long?
How about if I...
No problem.
Satisfied?
I almost... You'll like it here.
Where do I go to...
You'll have no trouble finding it. Right inside the door to the building, there's a ladder up to the loft. Your bed's ready. God be with you.
Have you lost something? Stop that! Who are you? I've no time for this. I see a thief! Guard! Ah! Help! Arrest that thief! I see a thief! Guard! You there! Stop! Surrender!
Stop!
You were seen. Well, you won't forget this. What of it?
All right.
All right. Give me back the stolen goods.
Look, you're...
Good health to you.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Of course. Ask away.
That man...
He was a drunk who was always...
Have you noticed anything?
Well, now I think of it, I hadn't seen...
Do you know what Lubosh was...
Not a clue.
Do you know anyone...
He was a loner.
That's all.
I'd like to learn to read.
You? You don't look like the makings of a... Bear in mind, it won't be all that easy. You'll need plenty of time and a few grosh...
All right. I don't want to waste time.
Very well. I will require some groschen from you, though, and set aside at least a couple of days so I can put you...
Here are your groschen.
Then we may as well start. No. He did break his vow, but better than to dishonor it here. May he follow his heart. Wake up, lad. It's time we were getting on. So, let's see you read a bit. There's a book here on the table. Try to read it.
Will I manage?
You ought to be able to. It's a simple text. Come back once you've worked your way through it.
I've read the book.
Wonderful. So,
That being greedy.
excellent. You're one of my most talented pupils. You've uncovered like I told you, books are valuable. And the words that you place in them ought to be no less so.
Does that mean that I can?
Yes, you have the foundation. Remember, my boy, the pen is mightier than the sword. To fully learn your way... Now we'll move on to the second lesson, which will be much harder. Many books are written in Latin, the language of erudite and religious men. There's a book on the table with some text. Read it and then come back. You need not understand.
I only just managed the fable about the goose, and now you're asking me to tackle.
You're a clever lad.
I read the page.
So tell me.
Nullus est liber.
Good heavens! Don't tell me you haven't had lessons before. Excellent. Well, there's nothing more I can teach you. Congratulations. You can go...
Thank you, Domine. I'm feeling a lot...
God be with you.
May the Lord watch over you.
What's up? Do you need some help?
Look what you. Look what you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mushrooms, apples, carrots, cabbage.
The blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators.
Did you know Lubosh?
Bit of a lost soul.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubosh don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing on the day Neuhof was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son, and one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
For heaven's sake, Father, can you...
I can. Because
Father, Lubosh was my only lead to the Neuhof raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible. If I don't find out who it was, it would probably happen again.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what, suppose we talk it over in the evening, in the tavern.
All right?
Take care now.
Father, didn't I wouldn't have expected that from...
With a stick. I practice with a stick. Reminder of my youth and days gone by.
Do you have any work?
My dear lad, I have more worries than I can bear. I have to deal with a local witch.
A witch?
The herb woman, old Gertrude. That devious hag who will stoop to anything. Like all herbalists, for that matter.
Oh, don't tell me. The cows are giving blood instead of milk, and babies are being born with 2 heads and a tail.
This is no laughing matter. Gertrude isn't evil. She just has peculiar ideas about what's good for people. A little bird told me she incited some Ujet's women to witchery.
A little bird told you, did it?
You know how good people are at seeing the splinter in another's eye and not the beam in their own.
In other words, someone's been gossiping. And what's the problem?
As long as herb women stick to giving psychic to folk and bloated cows, assisting in childbirth. But this is sacrilege, and it's unsafe. All sorts of molds and lichens and poisonous plants and other foul things.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to go and see her and find out what she's been up to. I know she lives in fear of the Holy Church, so tell her I sent you. That will make her talk and think twice about it. If you learn that she truly did involve folk in some foolishness, find out all you can.
Consider it done.
Good. And never fear. I'm a man who always... Take care now. God be with you.
Have you thought of a way?
Let's leave it for the evening. Let's leave it for the evening. Take care now.
Look what you're...
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything, but first I'd like to hear something about...
I'm from Scallops.
Oh,
They're dead.
I'm sorry to hear that. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages.
My poor child. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to...
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujit, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. It's nice to see someone using their head to find... Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyo? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I'd take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumours aren't exaggerated. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and...
I see it's every bit as bad. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. I noticed you're pretty handy with...
You know what they say.
But this is a bit...
Let's just say I haven't always been a priest. Fate led me to play. These days, of course, it's just a bit of exercise to keep me in shape.
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, if people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't try.
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cutthroats will strike again.
Chin up, lad. I might have a solution.
What?
If I tell you what Luboš told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret.
Word of honor?
On my soul.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard.
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. The tongue lashing about the two popes goes down well these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornicating.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus, I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores, while Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character...
Oh, the congregation.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to...
Funny. That last bit.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sasau Monastery.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticises the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
What do you think of this?
He's certainly a wise man. If he got out of Prague and came here for a look, I'm sure he'd stop condemning drinking and lying with women.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
You like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say it. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will...
Yeah, unless they burn...
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected...
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally up... Oh, it's getting quite late.
What do you suppose?
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Przyszła bida mora lat, to nie ustoi żadnej chlap. Na kraj padł desej smutek, do dnielo i rano utek, niech ich małżeński majstra, do wczera żylne staje brak. Už sej mojí svatý muži, nechtěl bych bej bělý kůži, nám je to jedno a tak si dáme poslední den. Půjdu se vámi, ano rada sávy, a tak vypal sudny a posaď se mi sem, tak posaď se sem a vypal je ven. Ukaž kozy jako vozy, zítra jen tu soudnej den, tak nalej mi hned a točí se svět. Ty plesal vůbec nikdo neví, zase zítra je živý a není to naposled.
Enough of this! Bailiff! Come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out. Oh.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
You'll get one more.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
Say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dears. Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
This is wonderful.
And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
Got him on you old goat.
Come here.
The priest has mounted up. What do you say, Henry? Shall we take a little ride of our own?
heel, mutt.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Godwin, you beast! Get up! Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Who the hell are you? Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. Didn't we have a wonderful time?
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. Oh, my poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it?
Mass!
Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look, from what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
So all at once the
Don't mock me. No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you.
Christ almighty.
Wonderful.
capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you.
Look at it. Mother of God, any minute now we'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clapping.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where by the grace of God was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because, as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will cue first.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the...
That boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, cumens, hunger, and chaos. The accursed wealth that the church is drowning in is poisoning almost the whole of... When dogs are fighting over a bone, take the bone and they will stop. Just like the flock of ravens that has descended on this land to peck up every speck of gold and silver. They show no mercy. Their hearts are poisoned by covetousness. They trade everything. Everything is for sale. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay, and you will have absolution. And the prelates sin and give themselves absolution.
For shame, shame upon them.
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and they play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates! Away with...
We're fortunate to have our good Father Godwin.
God sees what is happening on earth, and he is filled with righteous wrath that those who... Blessed are the shepherds who share the poverty of their flock, who are as one with you.
Aye, all honour to Godwin. Let him drink like...
That is all I heard in Prague.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, Dallas.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a silver
Glad he came
tongue.
here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague. He told it nicely.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So gluttony. And fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. And his conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko. Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Look what I've got for you. You'll love it.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Look what? Look what I've done.
Fetch!
To heal, Mutt.
Yeah.
Mutt!
Oh, Sakra. He's run off again.
Yeah. Yeah. Mutt!
Oh, Sakra. He's run off again.
This won't take long.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is that dog? Oh, he's run off. I hope he comes back.
Yeah.
Is that the best you can do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Greetings. What do you need?
I've come from the priests. They're saying you incited some women to witchcraft.
Me? Witchcraft? That's nothing but idle chatter.
Don't you know that witches get burned alive?
There's no need for trouble. I'll tell you everything. I've done a very foolish thing. It's preying on my mind so much I can't sleep a wink.
But I'm supposed to believe an old witch has pangs of conscience.
Laugh if you like, but it's not a word of a lie. You probably know I sell various magic lotions and potions alongside my herbs. Well, there's one I wish I hadn't sold. You see, Vera, Zlata, and Kuta from Uzhitz wanted a magic ointment from me. I kept refusing them, but in the end, I let them talk me into it.
What kind of ointment was it?
One that will show you a world no one else can see. A place of wonder and terror. The flowers might start talking to you, or the earth could swallow you up. I don't know if it's the work of the devil or of God himself, but the ointment has that power. But it could poison any person who doesn't know how to use it right.
So all this talk of witches anointing themselves and then flying to their sabbaths on broomsticks.
The ointment could make a person see such things. But it was stupid of me letting those foolish women get their hands on it. They could poison themselves or fall off a cliff while they're lost in a dream.
Will you give me the ointment recipe?
It contains belladonna and the herb Paris, both quite poisonous plants. That ought to make you think twice about dabbling with it.
So why did you give them the ointment at all?
Because I'm soft-hearted. You see, one of those women, Vera, lost her whole family in Skalitz. And Zlata's husband was killed. And the youngest of them, Kuta, miscarried with the horror of it all. They said they wanted to use the ointment to speak with the dead and ask them to put a word in with the Lord.
I understand how they feel. But I reckon it'll get them nowhere but the ducking stool and the stake.
Judge not, lest ye be judged. I didn't want to give them the ointment, but they offered me a pile of groschen. So I thought how desperate they must be, and I heard their plea.
Their plea or the clink of their coin? And why are you so worried about them all of a sudden? What changed your mind?
I'm losing sleep over it. Firstly, those women don't know what they're doing. And secondly, folk might see it as witchcraft. And do you know what they do to witches?
They burn them alive.
That they do. So don't be surprised I'm worried.
It didn't bother you before, though. What did they want the ointment for?
Each one of them lost a loved one recently, and it's grieving them. They wanted to talk with the dead.
I've heard enough. Very well. But only because the priest in...
Thank you 1,000-fold. I'll go to the Reverend myself and explain. You take care of those women. Good luck, then.